Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run for the UKV, look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days. As the next couple of days in the south, where we see a bit of sunshine, it's going to be fairly warm. Temperatures could even get up to 20 degrees tomorrow. However, further northwards we are in the milder air, but we still got quite a bit of cloud and areas of rain like we are seeing this evening. But it's not all doom and gloom further northwards. There will be some warmer, dry conditions around over the next few days as well. However, as we head into the second half of the weekend and into next working week, it is going to be turning quite a bit colder, and this is looking likely to be the trend for the second half of April. We've seen a big shift, as we'll see from the longer range charts in a minute, to colder conditions for the second half. It's been hinted for quite a while, and we've seen some quite cold operational runs along with some cold ensemble members, but today we've really seen a big shift in the ensembles to below average temperatures for the next couple of weeks, really. Now, it's not going to be anything ridiculous. We're not likely to get much more than sort of 5 to 8 degrees below average, so nothing, record breaking or anything, but definitely not ideal. Generally through April, temperatures should be on the rise. This April, we could actually be seeing the temperatures going down, which is pretty unusual indeed. Of course, colder than average conditions. We are still in the middle of spring, so still does bring the risk of some wintry showers. Generally quite a cold feel, temperatures high single digits, maybe at best double digits, and overnight frosts in some areas. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well. The link's in the description. Now, if you start on the live radar, you can see at the moment further southwards it's fairly dry this evening. Temperatures still pretty mild. We got up towards 18, 19 degrees today in a few spots, but further northwards we're seeing some more heavy rain moving in, and this will slowly progress eastwards and northwards overnight tonight, clearing by the morning, but we'll still see showers left behind. Now, to put on the temperatures this evening, look at that. Lots of yellows and even hints of oranges still in the east, as set temperatures up towards those high teens earlier today, and will stay fairly high over the course of this evening. Now, if you look at the latest UKV, you can see the precipitation continuing further northwards and eastwards through tomorrow, and then as we through tonight, and as we head into tomorrow, you can see it actually does go pretty dry for all. There are still some showers pushing in for parts of Western Scotland, Northern Ireland, maybe even into Northern England, but most areas will be fairly dry for much of the day. But the big uncertainty we do have is how much cloud we will see. If the cloud's pretty thick, maybe only mid-teens in many areas, but if we do see breaks in the clouds, some sunshine breaking through, could get up towards 20 degrees in a few spots. The same could be said for Saturday. As we head into Saturday, there's more showers in the north and west, and it does turn cooler there, but further south is a similar story. If we do still see some thick cloud, it could stay a little bit lower in terms of those temperatures, but if we did see some sunshine, could be fairly warm. But the colder and more unsettled air is pushing into the north, and it will come for all areas as we progress into Sunday. And you can see weather fronts moving in, bringing areas of showers and persistent rain, and it is just generally going to turn much cooler and much more unsettled through much of Monday and Tuesday. You can see lots more showers, areas of snow over higher ground, and just generally the air's coming in from the north. If we do look at the mean sea level pressure, look at that northerly wind pushing in. So that is just showing you where our air is coming from. And you can see at the moment, upper temperatures are very warm, 7 to 10 degrees at 850 HPA. And they could peak further over the next 24 hours. But look into Saturday and Sunday, much colder air pushing in. And it's not very cold all the time. It is going to oscillate around average and below average. We can see lots of pulses of around -4 to -5 degree air. So it's pretty chilly indeed. Seeing these sort of temperatures in mid-December or January, for example, we would be talking about low to mid-single digits at best during the day, overnight frost widely, and the risk of snow, as these are pretty cold air masses. And if we do look at the dew points, you can see dropping down to freezing in places, which does bring the risk of some wintriness over the coming days. If you look at the max temperatures, you can see earlier this afternoon up towards that 18 to 20 degree mark, and as we head into tomorrow, it's going to be a similar story for many southern areas. Again, 18 to 20 degrees, but I must emphasize, all is dependent on how much sunshine we do see. As we progress in towards Saturday, again another similar picture, 18 or 19 degrees in the southeast, but the area of those warm conditions is shrinking, and you can see by Sunday it's pretty much gone, unfortunately, around 12 to 15 degrees at best, feeling much colder. And into Monday, look at that, nothing above 10 or 12, with many in the single digits. And the same can be said for Tuesday, maybe slightly higher as we see some slightly milder air moving for a time, but still chilly, still below average, and feeling more like it's March or February than heading into the second half of April. Hopefully seeing some summer conditions, not what we're seeing this year. And it's not likely just to be a couple of days. The latest longer range is suggesting it could be around for maybe a week or two at least. You can see at the moment, high pressure in the south, warmer southwesterly winds pushing in, but eventually those northwesterly or northerlies are going to arrive by the second half of the weekend. And you can see that with the mid-Atlantic ridge, northerly airflows, nothing too substantial at this stage, but definitely pretty chilly. In the subsequent days, high pressure tries to build in, which will mean it could go drier, but will remain cold with that air still coming in from the north. As we progress into the subsequent days, continued airflows from the north, we could see more ridging up towards Greenland, which could actually attract even colder air masses pushing in there towards the end of this run. And you see the upper air temperatures are generally pretty cold indeed. Yes, some slightly milder air masses could move in at times, but generally we are looking at average to below average. Lots of blues. If I just skirt over the run here, lots of blues from around this weekend onwards, and potentially some darker blues at times. No purples. We did see some purples in a run yesterday from the GFS. That went very cold. That is still a minority option, but chilly below average is looking the most likely option at this stage. And yeah, could be pretty chilly indeed into the final week or two of April. Now, if you compare to the GM, again, a westerly flow over the coming days, but northwesterly to a northerly wind arriving by the end of the weekend into next week. And similar to the GFS, it continues towards the last 10 days of April. Mid-Atlantic ridge and another cold northerly blast, and pretty chilly air there again, 6 to 8 degrees below average. So yeah, not looking good once again, very similar. And this is why I'm pretty bullish on this now, because we are starting to see some pretty strong consistency from the operation runs, and especially today, the ensembles. Now, the same can be said for the ECMWF. Again, a westerly flow with some high pressure around the next couple of days, but that northwesterly arrives by Monday into Tuesday, and it goes much chillier. We do see a temporary high building in around a week's time. It does have some slightly milder air within it, but under high pressure, clear skies, dry conditions, will likely remain fairly chilly. And then towards day 10, we can see another ridge building towards Greenland, and it could open the doors again to another northerly wind. It's maybe not as potent as the other two runs, but similar in terms of going pretty cold and staying cold for the next couple of weeks. And if you finish by looking at the ensembles, you can see why I'm bullish now. Look at the consistency of below average temperatures over the next couple of weeks. Warm over the next 2 days compared to what we're going to be. About 15-degree temperature drop we're looking at over the next 3 or 4 days in terms of those upper air temperatures. So do cherish, if you are in the south, the 20 degrees we'll likely see tomorrow and Saturday. And then again, look at that longer term. Big drop through Sunday and Monday. And then we're looking to peak around -5, maybe slightly below that. And stay just generally around the low minus single digits. Gradually turning up, trending back towards zero, back towards freezing. But at the same time, the 1980 and 1991, 2020 mean is going up as well, because we should be accelerating towards late spring, early summer temperatures. But you can see here we're kind of set a good 3 or 4 degrees below average, and that's where we're going to stay. And the big thing is there's very few milder runs appearing with here. The majority are below average, and quite a few are significantly below average. Now, the one positive I've continued to say over the past few days is that it's looking fairly dry. There are still showers around, there still will be showers around, still areas of rain, especially further northwards, but look at that, generally a dry picture. The dew point is going to be pretty chilly as well, which brings the risk in frost and potentially some wintry showers when we do see some precipitation. And look at that, temperatures 20 degrees next couple of days, dropping down to 9 or 10 by the start of next week, and staying pretty chilly, gradually going up because that's inevitable. We are heading into summer, so the temperatures are going to gradually nudge up, even if the air mass stays cold. But you can see not getting much above 12 or 13 degrees, which is pretty disappointing for the last 5 to 10 days of April, where we could be looking at mid-20s, even high 20s in prior years. This year, maybe low teens at best. And it's not even just the GFS today, it's the ECMWF as well. If you look at that midnight run, very similar picture, almost a carbon copy. Maybe some more milder runs in the extended range, but very similar. A good 2 or 3 degrees below average for the foreseeable future starting on Sunday and Monday. The 2 meter temperatures are very similar as well. Pretty chilly, potentially dropping down to as low as 8 or 9 degrees as a top temperature next week. And the same precipitation is fairly low. So it is looking warm the next couple of days, so do enjoy that. But unfortunately, bad news is it is going to be turning pretty cold indeed for the second half of the weekend, especially further northwards, but further southwards through Sunday into Monday. And it's going to remain chilly from the looks of the runs for the next week or two. And the only positive I really take from this is it is going to be dry. So even though it is going to be chilly, frost potentially, generally quite a cold feel, may need a couple of layers out there, may need your winter coat still, but it won't hopefully be raining all too much, and it can let the ground dry as we head into the back half of spring. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.